This right here has ability with a .30 caliber clip to disperse with 30 bullets within half a second. 30 magazine clip in half a second. This is a ghost gun. This right here has ability with a .30 caliber clip to disperse with 30 bullets within half a second. 30 magazine clip in half a second.
What I want is a comprehensive strategy. Part of it is seeing if we can get automatic weapons that kill folks in amazing numbers out of the hands of criminals and the mentally ill.
But that would ban most pistols. That would ban most...
No, but pistols are different. You have to pull the trigger each time. An assault weapon, you basically hold it, goes...
No, those are fully automatic weapons.
The sale, the manufacture, the transfer, the importation of assault weapons. And it gets quite technical, and I won't go into that right now.
I'm Congresswoman Diana DeGette from the 1st District of Colorado. Columbine's in my district now, and Aurora's right down the street from my house. This week, we can bring to the floor a bill that Congresswoman McCarthy and I introduced.
I'm not saying it was the best bill, but that was the best bill that can get out of that particular type. I actually don't know what a barrel shot is.
Because it's in your
legislation. It's a shoulder thing that goes up.
Shroud, and why should we regulate it?
Best bill that can get out of that particular type. I actually don't know what a barrel shot is.
Because it's in your
Shoulder thing that goes up.
Because it's in your
It's a shoulder thing that goes up.
Because it's in your
Shoulder thing that goes up. It's a shoulder thing that goes up. Thing that goes up. It's a shoulder thing that goes up. Shoulder thing that goes up. Shoulder thing that goes up.
That would ban the types of assault and...
Don't try to go for a gun. You've got somebody pointing a gun at you. You think you're going to be able to outshoot them? That's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard.
But some point out that's easy to say for a man who has 24-hour police protection.
When I come in to interview you, I got to go through metal detectors. There are men with guns out there to make sure that you're safe. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's the big clip, drum, or strip that is also banned from sale, manufacture, importation, transfer. So it's the clip that enables you to have...
What's the alternative to grandfathering in magazines or rifles other than confiscation?
Well, you could say, well, confiscation could be an option, right? Sale...
We've never done that, right?
Mandatory sale to the state could be an option.
That's a form of confiscation. Whether you like it or not. And in fact, Connecticut is, because
Part of it
some of their action,
is seeing if we can get an assault weapons ban.
Ernest has the next question. She asks, do you believe that banning certain weapons in high-capacity magazines will mean that law-abiding citizens will then become more of a target to criminals, as we will have no way to sufficiently protect ourselves?
Is this Parents Magazine?
It is.
I have Parents Magazine at home. I've never heard anybody in Parents Magazine ask these kinds of questions, but I'm delighted to answer them. First of all, the idea that... Repeat the last part of the question, please.
So she's asking if a ban goes into effect on certain kinds of weapons and high-capacity magazines.
And what's your name?
Kate.
Kate, if you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun, have the shells, a 12-gauge shotgun, and I promise you, as I told my wife, we live in an area that's wooded and somewhat secluded. I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here, or walk out, put that double-barrel shotgun, and fire 2 blasts outside the house. I promise you, who's ever coming in is not going to... You don't need an AR-15. It's harder to aim, it's harder to use, and in fact, you don't need 30 rounds to protect yourself. Buy a shotgun. Buy a shotgun.
In their home, they should, quote, just fire a shotgun through the door. Well, a Virginia man did just that, and now 21-year-old Trevor Snowden is facing some serious legal trouble. Judge Alex Ferrer is the host of Judge Alex. Judge, first of all, this guy's charged with reckless handling of a firearm. He's been released on a summons. Is it a defense for him to say the vice president told me this was going to be okay?
No, that's absolutely not a defense, because I think pretty much all of America agrees you should not rely on Senator Biden for firearm handling advice.
Vice President now.
Vice President, I'm sorry. The times that I've heard him actually give firearm handling advice, all of it has been absolutely illegal. So I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, or Independent, you should not be following his advice.
And you are a former police officer.
Yes, and I've heard several versions of the story. I've read several versions of the story, and in one of them, he sees somebody outside his house wearing masks and fires wildly through the window with a shotgun, which I guess is akin to what Senator Biden said about just shoot through the door if you want to get somebody away from your door. Completely illegal. I mean, you might be afraid, but there's no imminent risk of danger there. And self-defense in most of the United States, and Virginia in particular, is the castle doctrine when you're in your home, which is you don't have to retreat from imminent risk of serious bodily harm or death. When they're outside your house, that's the time to call 911 and wait patiently with the shotgun to make sure they don't come in, not to shoot through the window and accidentally kill your neighbor's kid.
And this business, and that's why the law is so clear, but this business of just shooting through the door. I mean, we saw this in the Oscar Pistorius case over in South Africa. You just shoot through the door because you're afraid. This is the defendant in that case's theory. You could shoot an innocent person. And that's why the law generally, Judge, requires you to have a clear target or view of something before shooting.
And you can make a mistake and still not be charged, as long as a reasonable person would be in imminent fear of serious bodily injury.
A major advocate for gun control, and in that role, Alan Martin got to know him very well. Alan?
Well, 2 years ago, I reported on what gun control advocates call a huge loophole in California's assault weapons ban. While the senator then championed legislation to try to close that loophole, if what federal prosecutors now say is true, he was on both sides of the fence of gun control and weapons trafficking.
You don't want to allow the bad guys to be able to have a weapon that will continually shoot out bullets.
That was Leland Yee talking with me in 2012 after he'd watched our investigative report on legal assault-style weapons in California. Those guns are legal because of what's known as the bullet button, a device that allows a shooter to quickly swap magazines on AR-15 and AK-47 type rifles while still abiding by California's strict gun control laws. Because of our report, Yee introduced a bill calling for a ban on the bullet button, telling me,
"This is not an easy issue. I'm a father. I'm an individual who really wants our communities to be safe. And God forbid if somehow one of these weapons fall into the wrong hand."
After the bill failed, Yee reintroduced it in 2013. Today, many gun advocates are pointing to what they say is true hypocrisy. The government affidavit says that in August of 2013, at the same time that Yee was pushing gun control laws, an undercover agent was being told Senator Yee, quote, had a contact who deals in arms trafficking. And in January of this year, Leland Yee himself allegedly told that same agent the arms dealer, quote, has things that you guys want. The affidavit also says Yee claimed to know a weapons trafficker who he had known for years, who was supplying cargo containers of heavy weapons to Muslim rebels in the Philippines. In the newsroom, Alan Martin,
California State Senator Leland Yee on Wednesday to 5 years in prison. Senior District Court Judge Charles Breyer added the weapons allegations against Yee, a gun control advocate, are unfathomable. The former state legislator acknowledged in a plea deal that he accepted thousands of dollars in bribes and discussed helping an undercover FBI agent buy automatic weapons from the Philippines. The 67-year-old told the judge before sentencing that he had accepted responsibility for his crimes and wanted to take care of his alien
Great,
wife.
Jared. So talk us through that, because we're hearing the guns are bought legally.
Right.
We're not so clear about the ownership of the long guns originally, but we're also hearing that California has extremely strict gun laws. So tell us a little bit about how this all comes together.
The guns that were used were semi-automatic rifles, which are perfectly legal in the state of California. In other words, every time you press the trigger, it fires one round. What is, and usually 10 rounds in a clip.
That's part of the law.
Right. What is illegal is to turn them into assault weapons, which continue to fire when the trigger is depressed and they have more than 10 bullets in the magazine. That's a high-capacity capacity clip. As you know, that's illegal in the state of California.
So turning it into a fully automatic weapon.
Exactly. An assault rifle is what they generally call it, but yes, fully automatic weapon. Here's the thing. Manufacturers are allowed to build them that way with what's called a bullet button. That is to say, you take the tip of a button, you press of a bullet, you press a button, and it turns your semi-automatic legal weapon into an illegal assault weapon. And apparently, that's what happened here, except it failed when the killers tried to do it.
So you're saying they had to alter the weapons
That's right.
in a way that would make them illegal?
That's right.
Terrorist from obtaining this rifle and is urging New York State lawmakers to pass the Anti-Terrorism and Aviation Protection Act, an act that the National Rifle Association will likely fight, claiming the right to bear arms.
Come on. This is crazy. You can't certainly use this for hunting.
But some of these bullets, as you saw, have an incendiary device on the tip of it, which is a heat-seeking device. So you don't shoot deer with a bullet that size. If you do, you could cook it at the same time.